Joe Semino here. I'm actually streaming this in a couple of different places. Uh, we're on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube all at the same time. I've got two different cameras going on here, so if I'm not looking directly at you, hope you don't get too upset. Fabulous Pinto Mansion joined here on Instagram. Welcome. If I don't see your comments right away, I apologize. Like I said, I'm streaming in a couple of different places. So wait a little bit for some people to jump on here. So on Instagram, you guys on Instagram, the subject of today's broadcast is, I said, this was probably going to get emotional. I'm not going to talk about the coronavirus and all the crap that's going on because everyone has been impacted by that. So there's not much that I'm going to say or add to that that's going to make you feel any better or that you're not already, dealing with. So I want to say good morning to Stephanie, Kendra. Good morning. I see your comments here. If you have questions or anything while I'm on, feel free to go ahead and post those. So the last couple weeks, you haven't seen me or Mary Lou here on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube because 2 weeks ago, boy, it's harder than I thought it was going to be. 2 weeks ago, I lost a dear friend. And no, not to the coronavirus. So I want to get that out of the way first because that's important. But it was a sudden loss. And it's, whew. Sorry. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, everybody who's joining. Just a really good friend. Known him for close to 20 years. Those of you that know me already know all this. He worked with us at the Canton Club, and but aside from that, he was just a good friend. One of, if not my best friend, one of for sure. Wow. Yeah, this has been tough. I haven't really thought about it. I mean, I think about it. But when I talk about it, it gets rough. Probably, probably not talking about it is a lot easier because I can go on with my day to day. But I need to get over, it's been 2 weeks. I'm not going to get over it right away. I know that. But I need to start moving in that direction. And hopefully, this helps kind of putting it out there. I think what makes it more difficult, or one of the things that makes it more difficult, is the fact that this happened, during the shutdown. Totally unexpected. 46 years old. And, it's not like, a lot of people you might know, or you have somebody a relative who's a little older. You kind of quasi expect. I mean, let's face facts. We're all going to die. There's no question here. But when it's something like that, other than family, Kenny is, he's the first person I've lost, that's not a family member, somebody um, you didn't expect to die, already. I've lost grandparents, aunts and uncles, and they're going to get older and, whether it's, uh, cancer or diabetes or some sort of other condition, underlying condition, you kind of, you come to grips. Uh, this was a tough one. And the reason I talk about this now, um, I think it really hit me this weekend. Wow. I look terrible when I cry. um, but I need to get through this. Um, because in all this and probably with the shutdown adds to the stress, their staff, that we worry about in all of this. What is the future of the business, which, in the grand scheme of things, um, isn't all too important. Um, when you consider, you've lost a good friend. More importantly, maybe not more importantly, but it's important that, um, you you guys know that, for the last 2 weeks, my lack of not being on here, was for that reason. Wow. But um, my goal here is to, let you guys know that, I'm going to make a point of getting back on here pretty regularly. I'd love to say daily. I'm going to do my damnedest to get on here. Um, I think for my own sanity, it's important that I do that. One of the things Kenny was real good at, Kenny, for a while there, he was never on Facebook or anything. And then, and for various reasons, and a lot of people are like that. They're like, I don't want to mess around with Facebook or whatever, or Instagram or any of that stuff. And Kenny was kind of one of those people. And then it was kind of funny. When he got on Facebook, he figured out YouTube Live. I think it just kind of started ramping up. And for those of you that know him or were friends with him on Facebook, more so the staff, Kenny would just go random places live. A lot of times when people are live, they've got something specific, to talk about or show you or whatever. They're at an event, whatever. But Kenny would just go live at random places, and he would do really silly, goofy shit. He did one time where he went to a KFC and for an interview. They were just opening it up, or they had remodeled or something silly like that, and he went live during this interview. and he wasn't really trying to get the job. He was trying to be as obnoxious as possible, and not in a rude way, but just silly things like, he would say something like, "Well, listen, I can't start for a month, but I need to start getting paid right away. Are you guys okay with that?" Um, but he would do silly shit like that throughout the interview. Um, and these man, he was, I think in front of the regional manager. The regional manager happened to be there, and the manager, and he's streaming this live. So we're all watching this goofy interview, and these managers are just scratching their head because he's just insistent that he can't start for a month or 2 months or whatever it was. The amount of time wasn't important, but he insisted that he had to get paid right away. He had to start collecting the paycheck right away, and these managers were just scratching their head like, "What the hell is going on here?" And I think at one point, one of them even said, "Am I being punked here?" You probably remember Ashton Kutcher used to have the show Punked, and Kenny was actually doing something like that. That was one of the things. He was kind of a practical jokester, and he would do silly shit like that. So sort of as an homage to, to that, that's why I'm kind of getting on here. Like I said, Kenny was not just a staff member. He was one of my best friends. So anyway, I feel a little bit better getting that out of my chest. It's just been a tough one. So it'll get easy over time. But anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. I really do. If you're watching this, if you watch this later on, I hope things are going well for you. I know that they're not for a lot of people. I'm very lucky that I've got an amazing support structure, meaning people, my wife, my friends, the staff that we do have currently. Everyone's been amazing, getting through all this. And while we're still dealing with it, there's obviously light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm not going to get into all that. I'm not going to get into the coronavirus crap. So it's important that still here. I haven't forgotten about you. It's been dealing with a lot of crap, and I'm going to work towards staying in touch with you guys. But I thought it was important that you knew that, what was going on. So anyway, so I'm going to hang out here for a little bit. I'm just here in my office. Mary Lou's upstairs. And if you've got questions or anything, and I appreciate the comments. I see all these comments here on Facebook. I really appreciate that. Cindy, appreciate the virtual hugs. I really can't wait to get back to seeing people. It's interesting because Buster, a good friend of mine, Kenny, he was also one of the managers at the Canton Club. For almost 20 years, we were just talking about this the other day. For almost 20 years, virtually every single one of my weekends has been consumed with club business, events in some way. Actually, whether I'm there or not, it's almost always consumed, even when I'm on vacation. And Mary Lou will attest to that. That even when we're on vacation, the phone's still strapped to my hip, metaphorically, of course, and answer phone calls, staff requests, problems, issues, whatever. It's funny. We were in, I think it was Mexico City 2 years ago, Mary Lou and I, and this was actually, was it for our anniversary? I think it was for our anniversary. Yeah, because it was just before St. Patrick's Day. We got married on St. Patrick's Day. In hindsight, I'm not sure that was the best, but we did anyway. Uh, but we were in Mexico City, and I got a call from the manager here in Pittsburgh, um, that EMS was on the way. She had had some sort of issue, and not like she didn't get hurt or anything, but she was having a medical issue. And so my point to saying that is that for the last 18 plus years, almost 20 years now, my weekends have been consumed. So I would bitch and complain that, no matter what, I'm tethered to this business. And um interesting, I would complain I didn't have any time to myself. Well, here we are. I got plenty of time to myself, and I didn't realize completely how important that all of this is. The connection with people. God, I gotta the connection with people. Those of you that are watching right now, um, just incredibly important. Um, I've kind of in a cavalier like way have told people how amazing the people in the lifestyle are, and I mean that. But when I said it before, it almost sounded cliche, like I was just saying it to say it. But I really do mean it. Um, you guys are just fucking amazing. I really, really, truly believe that in my heart of hearts. And the lifestyle, the people in the lifestyle, whether it's the kink or swinger or LGBTQ or whatever, the vast majority of people that are in these in the lifestyle, uh, I'll use as an all-encompassing word. They really are just amazing people, and I think more so because they're happy or happier than those that are not, or those that are not exploring their sexuality in that way. And I miss that. I miss that tremendously. Um, Interestingly, Mary Lou and I are obviously spending a lot of time together. And I see people post things like, "Oh my gosh, I'm ready to kill my husband or wife or spouse or whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend," and we've certainly had moments, but nothing where I would say like, "Oh my god, I'm ready to kill her." We've certainly had our annoyances, um, but yeah, I miss you guys. I miss you guys tremendously, and I can't wait for things to get back to some sort of normalization. But yeah, I'm going to work towards getting back on here um, when um on a regular basis. Want to open things up to you guys. I did. I just want to touch on one more thing. I'm not plugging. The intention is not to plug anything, but we do have. We had introduced a virtual web chat on our website for our members um, about 3 weeks ago now, and we've had some pretty good success with it. Mary Lou and I have kind of jumped in and out of there a couple times. Um, so if you are a current member, you can and you haven't seen that yet, you can always jump in and interact with other members. So um, anyway, I've been on here for almost 20 minutes now. I think I appreciate you guys jumping in and appreciate the comments. Appreciate the love. You guys mean a lot to me. Excited to see you guys again. Hopefully, we'll see you very soon. So, that's about it for me. I'm going to sign out. Thanks, Instagram viewers. If you guys have questions, send me a message through Facebook or Instagram. If you're on Snapchat, I'm on that also. You can also text me directly. I'm not really answering club phone calls right now, just because it's, I pretty much get the same questions. Are you open? No, we're not open right now. So, but yeah, send me a message. You have questions. Maybe I'll jump in here later today when I'm done being a blubbering baby. Love you guys. I hope to see you soon. You take care.